Hello, this is topic 8-2 on slope by formula. But first let's go ahead and just review how to find slope on a graph. So the slope of line A, I've went ahead and marked points on this slope. You may want to go ahead and do the same on your graph just to make this a little bit easier. But you want to identify two clear points on your line and then you find your slope. Well, A goes down 1, 2, so it will be negative 2 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And negative 2/5 is as simple as it gets, and so that's my slope. Now if I look at line B, I rise 0, and then I run 2. Well, that's just 0. Because 0 divided by anything is 0. I could have put any points on this line and got the same thing. Same with line A. I could have picked any two clear points on the line and gotten the same thing. Let's go ahead and move to line C. With the points I've chosen, we're going to go up 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to run 1, 2, 3. And 3 over 3 is just another way of saying 1. So here we have a slope of 1. And for D, with the points I've chosen, we go up 1, 2, 3. But then we run 0. And that means that there is no slope. Just a reminder, negative slopes go down, positive slopes go up. 0 slopes are horizontal, and no slopes are vertical. You may want to remember that because it will help you to quickly identify whether or not you've wrote the right slope just by knowing those basic four. Now, a lot of times we're not given a graph. We're just given 2 points, and we need to find what the slope is from there. And so for that, we have the slope formula. So given 2 points, x1, y1, and x2, y2, my slope is given by finding the change in y, y2 minus y1, over the change in x, x2 minus x1. Notice that these are both 2's, and those are both 1's. You need to make sure that you put the points in the correct order. Now, it's okay if I do y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2, that's still okay. But if I do x2 minus x1 and y1 minus y2, well, that's wrong. We want to make sure that our letters, that our numbers go in the same spot. That we either put the second point first on both top and bottom, or we put the first point first on both top and bottom. We do not want to mix them. So over here, we're going to call this x1, y1, x2, y2. And now we do the math. Y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. Well, y2 is 8 minus 3 over 4 minus negative 2. Well, 8 minus 3 is 5. And 4 minus a negative 2 is 6. And so it's 5/6. That does not simplify, and so that's our answer. Move on to example number 6. This is point 1. This is point 2. And so y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So we get 2 minus a negative 6 over a negative 5 minus 7. Well, 2 minus negative 6 is 8. And negative 5 minus 7 is negative 12. That will simplify I can divide them both by 4 and get a negative 2/3. Don't forget that this negative sign stays there. It does not have to stay on the bottom. It can just be in front of the whole thing. But we want to remember to simplify our fractions. Let's look at the next page. And example number 7. Point 1, point 2. So y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So we have 2 minus 2 over 5 minus 1 gives us 0 over 4, which is just 0. And over here, y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1 equals 5 minus 1 over 2 minus 2, which is 4 over 0, which is no slope, because I cannot divide by 0. Now in these last two examples, I could have saved a little bit of time. Notice the y values are the same. The y values are the same, my slope will be 0. And over here, my x values are the same, and so if my x values are the same, then I wind up with no slope every time. But if you don't remember that shortcut, you can always work it out like I did here. Now for our last two examples, these are a little bit more difficult, as we are given one point, half of another point, and a slope. And so here we're going to go ahead and work this out. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We're going to go ahead and fill it all out. So 1 over 5 equals y2 is 5 minus a negative 2 for y1 over my x2 is an r. That shouldn't be negative 2, that should be 4. Minus a negative 2. Simplify as best we can. 1/5 equals 1 over r plus 2. I will now cross multiply. So 5 times 1 equals 1 times r plus 2. Well, that's just 5 equals r plus 2. And I don't need those parentheses. Subtract 2 from both sides, and 3 equals r. And now, you may have noticed that they were both 1s on top, so what plus 2 gives us 5, 3, and you could have solved it much easier there. But I wanted to go ahead and use the difficult way so that you know how to do that when you get to more difficult problems. Apparently we went 7, 8, 9, 6. Not sure why they numbered like that, but we're going to ignore that and move on. 3/4 equals r minus 4 over negative 1 minus 3. Again, I just pulled from here and plugged those values in. So 3 over 4 equals r minus 4 over negative 4. We now cross multiply. And so 3 times negative 4 equals 4 times r minus 4. So negative 12 equals 4r minus 16. I add 16 to both sides, and negative 12 plus 16 is 4. So 4 equals 4r. Divide both sides by 4. Negative r equals 1. I forgot to include that this was negative. So it's negative 3 times negative 4 would have given me an entirely different answer. Because I was looking at this, hold on, 1 minus 4 is negative, yeah. And so I did this a little bit wrong. I forgot my negative sign here, so let me go back and fix that. So insert my negative, and so negative times negative is a positive. So when I add 16, I get 28. And when I do 28 divided by 4, I get 7. Always helps to go back and double check your work. I apologize for the mistake on here. But just go back and double check your work. Make sure that you didn't make any quick mistakes. Good luck on your assignment and have a good day.